time's changing like the times, and I'm taking. Darling, would you be mine? And I hope you know I will love you for the rest of my life. Let's not waste time, oh, take this slow. You got miles behind us, but miles.
The no-see-ums are horrendous this morning. They're everywhere. And I think we let a bunch in when we opened the camper door, but we are ready to load up. Eric's eating breakfast, lunch, all the above.
Sausage McMuffins.
He keeps a stash of sausage McMuffins in the freezer, but that was his last one.
Perfect move day breakfast.
How far are we going today?
2 hours?
2 hours away. Headed out today to Magnolia Springs State Park.
I'm looking forward to it because it's so shaded back here.
Route recalculation.
One, I hear that in all the videos. Route recalculations.
And there's nowhere else to recalculate to. There's only one road in, one road out.
But anyways, campground's fine. It's super shaded, a little tight getting into some spots. But I kind of miss seeing the sun a little bit because we're just so covered, and the bugs were really bad. But that's
Which
not
you can't
their fault.
blame the park on the bugs.
But just this time of year, we're surrounded by water because it is kind of an island. No-see-ums are horrible this morning. But other than that, close to Savannah and St. Simon's Island, Jekyll Island, went to there. So
Come here a minute. Turn.
Oh, no-see-um biting me. I thought I felt something.
I just smacked you on camera.
Nice. You guys got the evidence. She smacked me on camera.
We'll cut that part out.
I'm cutting that out.
All right, guys. Unless something exciting happens, we'll see you at Magnolia Springs.
Yep.
How's your drive been today?
Oh, pleasant. Very pleasant. It's been like this. Look at this. Isn't that nice?
Not bad. We're about 2 miles from the park.
We saw a cell tower about a mile that way, so hopefully it's a T-Mobile tower 3 miles away from the campground and we got good internet. Cross your fingers.
We've not seen any reviews about the internet here, so, but remember, we have 3 options. Verizon, T-Mobile, last resort, Starlink. So we'll see what we get this week.
Take the next right onto Magnolia Springs Road.
So we are in Site 22 this week. This campground only has 20-something sites, 20, 30. Not very many sites in it.
Oh yes, I'm up here with my wife, staying at the Magnolia State Park in Millen, Georgia, and we're staying in the campground. My wife got a toothache last night. Would you guys have a time today to look at that? All right, you ready to go?
Why are you recording?
Where are we going?
To a dentist. Why are you recording this?
Well, you know, things happen when you're out on the road.
They do, and I had a really bad toothache yesterday, and some very nice people in this town are going to attempt to fix whatever's wrong with my tooth today. Yep. And they got me in very last minute, so we'll see how this goes. Why Eric thinks we need to record my tooth pain is beyond me. He's being mean today. He looks happy that I'm in tooth pain.
I'm not.
You won't be if I keep you up all night one night from tooth pain if
I'm
they
sorry.
can't fix it.
I wish I could take half the pain away from you.
Half.
I don't think I can deal with all of it. That way we can both deal with it.
He is wimpier than me.
That's probably true.
Are you recording me getting on the truck?
Uh-huh.
Oh my. It's gonna be a long day, guys.
It might be warm enough I can take my jacket off. It was like 40.
It was 43
this morning?
Yeah. It's not hurting that bad right now. But I don't want it hurting like last night.
Well, she just got done drinking some cold water like you do. And it would hurt a
I
little
love
bit.
my ice water.
Yeah. If they can fix it today, these guys are getting a 5-star.
They get a 5-star anyway for seeing me today. They didn't have to.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, this isn't fun.
What?
Are you recording?
Yes.
Well, they can't really do anything
Okay.
because they can't find anything wrong.
Oh.
So she thinks it's my nerves in that back tooth because she said the tooth looks something about a different color. But she said it looks like I'm grinding my teeth or clenching my teeth.
At night or something?
I said, I don't know if I do at night. I don't know. Do I?
I don't hear anything.
But I do notice when I have my migraines that I have a lot of tension back here. And she said that could be doing it when I'm clenching my teeth real tight when I have a migraine. So she's given me some prescriptions to try to get us through till we get back to Tennessee.
Okay.
But I don't know what that means because to fix it.
Hello.
Hi. To fix it, she said that I would need to go to a specialist and it might need a root canal.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Might
So
change
we'll
our
see what
plans
the
a little
dentist-
bit.
I know.
Well, at least we got 3 weeks in Tennessee.
Well, if I have to, I can skip Michigan and you go to Michigan.
Oh. Oh no, you're not sending me up there by myself.
Hey, you can't put that in there.
Oh, I forgot to lock the truck.
Oh, goodness. So it's not a cavity. The crown looks fine. But she said that back tooth has some funny wear on it. And she said where I have a crown up here, it could be grinding on and the crowns are harder.
You think you need a bite piece when you sleep or something?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
There you go. Okay, Camp Lton was a Confederacy largest prison. It's presumed it was the largest prison in the world. Prisoners began to come here mid-October 1864 from Andersonville. Population grew quickly over 10,000 prisoners. Let's go see the remains of what's left. And I hope to also get in the like I said, the tour for this. I'll try my best to give a little history of why this state park is formed, along with a good campground review. All right, up top of the small hill here is where the Fort Lawton Confederate prison camp, as it appeared in 1865. And it just has some earthworks left. It was mainly built out of standing logs that were tied together. I'll give you more history on that when we get to tour the museum there. But these hills are probably maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 feet tall. And this is it. Nothing left of this old prison camp except for these mounds of small hill mounds, I guess. Made it to the historic center.
I thought it was a museum, but it says History Center. So let's check it out.
$2 a person. Oh, 9 to 4.
Must
It's
be
like
9 to 5.
Yeah, he said bring the key back by 4:50. So, anyways, let's go take a look. Oh.
You gotta have the key.
Oh, give me the key. I got looking at that. Okay.
That's why we have a key.
Alright. That's nice.
So in 1863, Virginia was in serious danger of being overrun. Prisoners were being moved to Georgia in large numbers. The largest stockade was in Andersonville, known as Camp Sumner. After only 6 months of operation, Andersonville was vastly overcrowded. Over 32,000 prisoners were confined to a space originally designed to hold 10,000. With rations in short supply, no shelter, poor sanitary facilities, and deaths were inevitable. So they came to Georgia and found this site 5 miles north of the train station in Millen. And the layout was very similar to Andersonville in that it had a stream running through it. So they received permission to begin construction and to visit plantation owners in both Georgia and Florida to hire slaves to do the labor.
Fast forward, here's the kicker. They can seize people and property for public services. Not everyone was pleased about it.
Magnolia Springs State Park owes its existence to the spring. So that's why they decided that this was the ideal location for the Camp Lalton, a Civil War prison camp. The spring provided prisoners with clean drinking water and bathing, as well as washing away human waste produced by over 10,000 prisoners.
Gross. What makes the spring so special? Flows underneath their own power, no need to pump it. Called Argentina Springs. Back in the Civil War, this is what they called field desk. Basically an office in a box.
So the building we're standing in today was built by the CCCs, and it was originally the CCC Casino. But a casino back then was not like a casino that we think of. It was a building used for recreational activities such as table tennis or dancing.
Okay. And in case you didn't know, for all you younger folks, the CCC was a group of people that basically volunteered to work. You can work 6 months at a time for a period up to 2 years. They got paid $30 a month, and they were required to send $22 to $25 home. And also in exchange for that, they got food, clothing, housing, and medical care. And a lot of the people actually gained weight during this time.
Because they got 3 meals.
Because they got 3 meals.
The Confederates tried to recruit prisoners who often offered perks such as money. Recruits, whom the Confederates called paroled Yanks, were often recruited for their skills such as carpentry or blacksmithing. Many parolees worked alongside the guards on burial detail. There were many reasons for accepting parole, including relief from the boredom of camp life, access to better food, and opportunities to collect information and the chance to escape. So how did the guards know which prisoners were paroled? They were given metal stars that they carried with them.
Cut out of tin.
Cut out of tin, that they would show these stars to the guards as they approached the deadline and the gate. So their daily rations were 2/3 pint of cornmeal, 3 tablespoons of rice or black peas or sorghum molasses, And they said sometimes in lieu of the rice, they were given either one of these, the black peas or the sorghum. 4 ounces of uncooked beef with bone and 1 teaspoon of salt, which made for 530 to 680 calories per day. 25% of what was needed to maintain their body weight.
And that's why people signed up for the Parrolls Star. They got more food.
So many of the prisoners were still hungry with the little bit of food they got. So the new prisoners had money and other items they could trade for a wide variety of supplies, including food, whiskey, and tobacco. The sellers of these items were called sutlers. They came from both sides of conflict, Union and Confederate. They set up their shops in the streets of the prison. Those who had been imprisoned for a long time could acquire money by making cans, cups, and other items from salvaged or stolen material. And they could try their luck at gambling. Food was the most sought after item. You weren't the first ones here, you didn't.
So when the first prisoners came to this Camp Lawton, they had to build their own houses or their own shelter. And when they first got here, there was a lot of leftover material and that they constructed from, you know, branches and trees, and they were able to buy or trade for some blankets. But near the end of the prison here, a lot of that stuff was already taken up or gone within the walls, so they had a little bit harder to find shelter. It's called an open air prison, whereas the prison up in Virginia, they were in an old tobacco warehouse. But Anderson and Millen is open air.
And the Camp Lawton History Center. Magnolia Springs flows out of the ground just a short distance from this spot and was the focal point of several historic events, including the Civil War. Prisoner exchanges kept the population relatively low until April 12, 1864, when President Lincoln halted the practice. Numbers at Andersonville rapidly rose, reaching approximately 20,000 in June of 1864. Prison Superintendent Henry Wirtz authorized expansion of Sumter and began campaigning to have another prison built. A site near Millen Station in south central Georgia was chosen. It was named Camp Lawton.
Oh, that was it.
Huh. I thought they'd tell more about Camp Lawton here in Millen.
But they told us all about the Civil War.
They told us all about the Civil War. Well, I took you guys up on the hill and kind of showed you where it was at, and I got a picture of that for you. Yeah. Okay. Well, there we go. Magnolia Springs State Park. They call that because there's a spring here. I'll show you that. They have magnolia trees lined up the driveway. Nice peaceful campground it is. Probably about a quarter mile to half mile off this divided highway over there. We're probably about 5-6 miles north of Milton, Georgia. Every once in a while you'll hear that traffic if they hit the rumble strips. Other than that, you don't hear it. So let's go take a look at the park. and Campground. As you come into the park, on the weekends they have this tenant on duty. Monday through Thursday, I don't think they have anybody here, at least not that I know of. Here's your daily passes, annual passes. Well, I think those change the prices. But let me give you guys a little secret. They do have the Georgia State Park Pass. If you get the $70 one, it gives you one free night of camping, which is like a $32 value, and like a pavilion rental, and 10% off each stay. So if you're staying a week and it comes out to like $210, well, you're saving $20 right there. I think the best deal is to get the $90 package, because it gives you the 10% off and it gives you 2 nights free stay at any Georgia campground, state park campground. Well, if you know, that comes out to about $65 plus 10% on top of whatever you stay. So after 2 weeks, you're already breaking even, maybe even making a little money. So think about that before you book Georgia State Parks. Just want to go to a nice park, no worries. They have plenty of activities for you to do here. Several pavilions. They got a splash pad for the kids in the summertime. Picnic tables, barbecue pits, bike rentals, kayak rentals, paddleboard. Paddleboard? No, not paddleboard. Well, maybe no. Paddle boats rentals. And of course the springs. We're coming up on the springs. I'm biking it backwards, but they have a nice play area for the kids. Here's your splash pad, nice clean restrooms. Very nice campground. State park, I should say. This Magnolia Springs puts out 7 to 9 million gallons of water every day, eventually going to the Opechee River. Not quite as clear as Silver Springs. It has some, you know, growth around it and stuff, but I've seen some fish, turtles, and actually an alligator the other day. So they do have alligators in here. Very peaceful, quiet area. Here at the state park, they have probably about 8 of these cabins. These ones, when you first get near the campground, looks like they've been totally redone on the outside. I think they have 9 cabins. They have about 5 of them right up here by the lake, and then 2 more sets back along this drive. Cabins 6 through 9. So this would be a great rental cabin right across from the water. There's the canoes you can rent over there. I thought there's kayak. Oh yeah, okay, there's some kayaks over here. Let's get down there and get a closer view. Kayaks, canoes, and these little paddle boats to rent. This is their 47 acre lake you can go out on. Really peaceful around here. They do have alligators, like that sign said. I've only seen one, but doesn't mean there's not more. Let's go down the road, take a look at the other cabins. Some over here and some over there. On the right is cabin 6 and 7. The lake's right behind them. And there's cabin 7. About a quarter mile past cabin 6 and 7. It's cabin 8 and 9. This one's 8. Nice, secluded, no one else by it. And cabin 9 to my left here looks like it's a little bit bigger cabin. They have different size cabins apparently here. Check online. Plenty of parking space up front. Saw several picnic tables in the back. Nice yard. Pretty much all by themselves, so it's a nice one. And a couple of pavilions at the end of the road. And the lake is straight ahead right there. Alright, let's head on back to the campground. Okay, time for the walkthrough of the Magnolia Springs State Park Campground. Pretty nice campground, pretty small. I think around 27 campsites. The first like maybe 17 and 18, sorry, camp hosts are on site 16 and 17 or 17 and 18. Anyways, you can see the pictures. I just took pictures of each campsite. Now, if you want any chance at all to get cell signal, Verizon, even with our booster antenna sticking way up, it's at the most 2 bars and it's slow. You can get emails and stuff like that. T-Mobile with our external antenna, anywhere from like 5 to 105, most of the time staying between 40 and 60 with the upload speed of 5 or less. But if you have to have decent cell signal, get sites like 1 through 6 or up on the top of the hill. I would go that way. But this campground has, let me think here, it has like a little picnic shelter. It has horseshoe, and it has beanbag toss. I forget what that's called. Anyways, the campground or the campsites, they start near the top of a hill, and as you get towards the back side of the campground, it's at the bottom of a hill. Not a steep hill, but maybe 20 foot or so, and that might be enough just to make your signal. Each sites are, most of them are fairly spread apart. There's some that are longer than others, so check the website for that. And I think they're around $36 a night. Bathrooms were clean. You got pictures of that coming up. Let's see. I probably said a lot. Anyways, well, that's it. Let's go take a look at the campsites. site 27, 28, 29 are walk-in sites. But I've seen a car back here the other day, so I wouldn't say you necessarily have to walk in. This path is big enough for a small car. I don't know if I'd get a truck back here or not, but I saw a small car back here parked next to their tent. So let's go see what these sites look like. First walk-in site I come up to is site 27. Plenty of space to, well, park your car if you drive your car back here. A little camping pad. You can see a few campers over there. The regular campsite, but that's it. Okay, let's go look at campsite 28 here. Okay, literally like 50 feet, 100 feet away is campsite 28. And across from 28 is campsite 29. No room to park a car if you're in site 29 if you have a small car back here. Do they have water? Looks like they have water back here. No electric. Campsite 29, or 28, I'm sorry, does have a long driveway, well, path to it. You could probably park 2 cars here if you drove back. It has water. Nice pad to put your tent. You can see site 27 is right over here. Other than that, it's nice and quiet. Okay, now that we walk through the campground sites, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5 stars. The best spot is probably site 16, overlooking the water for Magnolia Springs State Park. If you like what you see, or if it was helpful in any way, or how about this? As long as you didn't like it, give us a thumbs up. It helps other people find our channel and maybe be useful to them. And we try to make it enjoyable to watch, and for future me and future Sarah. Thanks for watching, guys.